What's up, you guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of Ask Alex. And I know you guys see the different format. I had to change things up because I wanted to upgrade. And obviously, I got a new webcam. And you know what? I'm going to start using it more and start using my creativity instead of being, I would call, lazy. But, I wanted to do something different. But, I couldn't do this show, come back and not do this show without my co-host, Ian, Frank, Carter, and Jeremy Branch from Movies Are Terrible. How are you guys doing today?
I can see that Ian is never going to live the Frank thing down. And
Bitch, my name is Ian Elliott Carter.
And yes, I'm here for it. Like you said before we started recording, dude, 2 weeks. 2 weeks since the last time we've done this. We've done a couple of episodes of the suggestions or recommendations over at the Controversy. Yes. We've done a couple of, videos. Wait, Alex, we haven't done. Oh, okay. Yeah. Real debates. We've been still doing real debates.
Oh, yeah.
I've still got some trivia episodes that have Alex in them that are going to be uploaded. So we've still been doing things, but glad to be back. Glad to be back in the passenger seat of the Millennium Falcon with you nerds.
Yeah, and Ask Alex, out of all the shows that we do here, Ask Alex, at least on my platform, is my favorite show.
It's got your name.
We're just talking about movies, pop culture, and a lot of controversial things. And guys, before you ask me, I'm letting you guys know now, I do not care that Lil Wayne is in jail. Maybe his best friend Trump will bail him out. On another note, if this is your first time ever watching this show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That way you get all of my videos in the algorithm every time you see my video in the suggestion file. Now, if this is your first time ever watching any of this stuff and you want your question or topic on the show, just send me an email at theaskalexshow@gmail.com. That's theaskalexshow@gmail.com. If you submit your topic or question, we'll definitely go back and answer it here on the show. I'm letting you guys know now, I am not answering any questions about politics, okay? I understand that things are shaky right now. I understand that certain people won't concede. I get it. It's a weird time that we live in, but this show is about movies, TV, pop culture, and a little bit of controversy, but nothing too life-threatening or serious. So thank you guys for sending me those insightful questions. But let's go ahead and jump into the first question of the day. And the first question comes from a Leah Smith. And she writes, "Hey crew, did you guys see the live action Tom and Jerry trailer? If so, what do you think about this new take on this classic property?" Well, thank you for your question, Leah. So I believe it was yesterday. This episode will come out on Thursday, but I believe it was yesterday on Tuesday. I saw this trailer drop either that night or probably early this morning. And I watched the trailer. I thought it was funny, definitely harping the Tom and Jerry themes. But I have to be honest, although I thought it was okay, I think Warner Brothers is running out of creativity when it comes to this stuff. Tom and Jerry, I think what they should do, if Tom and Jerry is going to be a movie that they're promoting, this should be focused on the future generation of kids, because Tom and Jerry, they don't talk at all. I watched Tom and Jerry when I was little. My parents watched Tom and Jerry when they were like teenagers, or maybe smaller than that. So they don't talk. All it is just music. But the trailer is obviously something different. It's more of a humans meet the Tom and Jerry characters. And honestly, I'm kind of done with the whole remake or reinvent certain properties into live action. There's some that I'm willing to watch. There's some I'm like, but this one, I think it's fun. I'm interested to see it, but I'm not going to be running to the theaters to see it. Now, Jeremy's a little bit older than all of us on this panel. Did you see the trailer, and what did you think about this movie coming out sometime in the near future?
So you bring up an interesting point that I don't think I ever actually thought about, and that's that Tom and Jerry don't talk. That's wild. It would make it difficult to hang a movie on characters that have no dialogue. Tom and Jerry started like 1940s. I mean, they were kind of the alternative to the Looney Tunes, right? You had Hanna-Barbera, and then you had the Looney Tunes stuff at Warner Brothers. And actually, I think they might all be Warner Brothers, because this new one is Warner Brothers.
Yep.
I don't know. Disregard that last part. We'll fix it in post. But my point in saying this is some of my favorite movies are movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah. I really liked Cool World with Brad Pitt and Hollywood. She was a animated character. It was like a cartoon world. So when I saw that they're doing this Tom and Jerry live action movie, and I realized that they're doing like old school. I mean, I know it's CGI augmented. I'm sure 90% of the shots are done on computers, but it's the 2D hand-drawn versions of Tom and Jerry. I thought that was pretty cool. This is the first time I ever thought Chloe Grace Moretz looked kind of fly. Like, I don't know what it is about the hotel get up, but she actually looks kind of cute in it. I was thinking, like, she's one of those actors that's going to play, like, a young teenager until she's, like, 60 or something. She just got that look. She looks super young, even though she's, like, in her mid-20s now. It's got a cool cast, and it's got Michael Pena. It's got as I was looking at the trailer, I'm like, oh, there's some actors, and Kim Jong is in it. It's got some people that I really like in it. All that said, it looks kind of dumb. Like, I like a lot of the things about it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna be good. And that's really what it comes down to. The human stuff looked silly, and another thing, to speak to a point about Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, and Itchy and Scratchy as a byproduct of that, these fucking cartoons are so violent, dude. Like, just so over the top violent that I know they're gonna have to dial that way back in today's day and age, and that's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be all of that, but I just feel like they are kind of what you said, Alex. They're trying to bring these 75-year-old characters to a modern audience of kids, and even your generation, my generation. Stuff is so far before our time, dude, that, like, I don't know. But the Peanuts movie that came out a couple years back that was all CGI was fantastic, dude. So it's possible. It's possible to do it good, but I don't know. I don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah, Jeremy made a good point I didn't even think about, is that he actually made two good points that I didn't think about. One, the Peanuts movie did come out. I remember watching Peanuts when I was young. I didn't see it in theaters. I red boxed it. I loved it. Like, I kind of wish I did see it in theaters. Another good point that he made about is that if you watch the original Tom and Jerry stuff, they're like Tom is shooting Jerry with guns. He's using knives. He's using anything that he can find. So I wonder how they're going to do that in 2020, like, especially if this is going to be marketed to kids, because back then we thought that shit was funny. Now, I hate to say it, but we're kind of in a PC culture now, so a lot of things are being dumbed down. But Ian, did you see this trailer, and what do you think about Tom and Jerry coming to the big screen?
Looks like I'm going to be the only optimist here, man. I actually liked it. I liked it a lot. It brought me back to the nostalgia road that made me fall in love with cartoons like that. That Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, and everything under like the Tex Avery brand made me fall in love with cartoons as a kid. So I felt that magic as soon as I saw the trailer. Wasn't a big fan. It did kind of look like Looney Tunes Back in Action. You know, that movie that came after Space Jam. Space Jam, in my opinion, doesn't even hold up in general. But yeah, I mean,
clip, by the way.
Production wise, I'm a little worried because, like, those movies, with the exception of Roger Rabbit, don't have good track record when it comes to live action. Remember Rocky and Bullwinkle? Yeah, you probably don't, because it sucked. But yeah, those movies don't usually have a good track record. But like I said, I'm going to be the optimist because Sonic the Hedgehog happened, and it was great, and maybe people are starting to learn, like, maybe this is how we should do it. It looked the action scenes. Of course, we didn't see any like AK-47s or Shanks like they had in the originals. But I do feel like it is going to bring a good comedic relief when it comes to that cat trying to kill that mouse. And it's I'm surprised that Alex doesn't like it, because he looks exactly like Jerry.
Oh, wow.
I would think he could
I
relate.
didn't even think that until now.
Oh, wow. See, he's only taking shots because I made that Frank comment, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure in another future episode of Real Debates, we'll catch him slipping yet again. By the way, just shameless plug. Ian and Jeremy will be going head to head this Friday, tomorrow, actually, on Real Debates, Force Awakens versus Rogue One.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my God. I can't wait for these guys to see it, because I put so many funny clips in this. It's going to be hilarious, but definitely want to check that out at 1 p.m. But what do you guys think about this new Tom and Jerry trailer? Do you think this is a wise move by Warner Brothers? Do you want to see this rendition? By the way, are you guys even old enough to remember who Tom and Jerry is? Please jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. And let's go ahead and jump into the next question. And the next question comes from a returning person, Miss Iris Peoples. And she writes, hey, Alex, do you think that Gina Carano's comment she made on Twitter will limit her opportunities in Hollywood? Well, thank you for your question, Iris. Now, let me just say this real quick. Now, I did start off the show saying I wouldn't be talking about anything political.
Fake news.
In this case, this matters. And I did say we do address certain controversies. We talked about, Ezra Miller beating the hell out of some woman and still having a job. We also talked about Hartley Sawyer, saying some racist shit, and now he still has his job. So we talk about these types of things in the show. And Gina Carano is a reoccurring person on The Mandalorian and other things as well. Let me just say this. I have nothing against anybody's race, religion, or sexual orientation.
That makes one of us. You know what I mean? Just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Canceled.
Exactly. I have nothing against anyone who decides to live their truth. At the end of the day, you are who you are. Nobody can tell you differently. Now, in regards to the question, Iris, here's what I would say. I don't necessarily agree with Gina's comments, but at the same time, I don't really understand the LGBTQ community as a whole, because I don't know what it's like to be a part of it. I understand, I respect it, but I don't have enough information to make any judgments or any statements about that community. So that's why I choose not to. Gina, on the other hand, I don't know what her life is like. I don't know if she has people in her community that speak on those types of issues, but I do know that I don't agree with what she said. But with that being said, I don't believe we should vilify her because of her comments that she made on Twitter. And let me break that down. She didn't say anything, at least in my opinion, that is overtly offensive in a way that causes harm, hatred, or anything like that. I think if I'm Disney, since she's working on Mandalorian, assumingly she'll be on Mandalorian season 3. If I'm Disney, I would not really budge so much on her and her statements. I just wouldn't, because again, I think she's walking that very thin line. If she says something else that may sway one way or the other, but I don't think she said anything that was mind-boggling. Now, again, I could be wrong, but let me just restate the fact before someone clips what I say and posts it all over Twitter and says, see, he's on her side. No, I'm on nobody's side. I'm saying that I don't agree with her comments. I don't necessarily understand her comments, but I will say, looking at it for face value, it didn't seem like she said anything that was overtly offensive in a way that causes harm or discrimination of any kind, from my point of view. Now, with that being said, I hope that she does get more work in Hollywood. And also, let me also say this. People make mistakes. I don't think, like, I didn't agree with what Hartley Sawyer said, but I can see that Hartley Sawyer kind of evolved from those years ago up until now when he made those comments. I didn't agree with what James Gunn said, but James Gunn is not that same person. I don't agree when people fuck up, like Kevin Hart. He said some wild shit, but I am still a Kevin Hart fan because he's evolved from that. And what we have said on that show is, on this show at least, when we fuck up and say things, we have to take it for what it is and watch them grow from it. If they don't grow, then yeah, they're a piece of shit. And if Gina doesn't grow from what she says, yeah, you're a piece of shit for that. But if you're evolving and noticing that what you did was wrong and how you're coming at people in that particular way is wrong, and you're learning from that, then I can say, okay, this person learned their lesson. They shouldn't be canceled for it. That's how I view that. Please don't come at me because I'm not trying to cancel anybody, nor do I support cancel culture. But at the same time, I'm just being honest. I don't really see that much of a divide. But Ian, I don't know if you've seen Gina's comments, and if you have, what do you think about her comments? And do you think this is something that should jeopardize her career?
Well, yeah, I was confused on what the subject was because I did see people were coming at her for her political views and wanting to recount, supporting the recount with Trump, and I thought that was weird. I didn't know
I thought
she
that
said
was dumb too.
Yeah, I didn't know she was saying some possible homophobic things. But I'm gonna mirror a lot of things that you said. I like her. I've had a little bit of a crush on her since I saw her in the Fast and Furious franchise. I think she's awesome on The Mandalorian. With that being said, I don't look to her for any opinion. I don't give a damn what she think. She doesn't, and if she did say some hurtful things about the LGBT community, then shame on her. And like you said, I'm not in that community, but I'm an ally. I do, hopefully they'll get the right to eat drinks. Hopefully they'll have the right. Hopefully they'll have the right to walk their dogs and eat at Burger King, and all that stuff. But like I said, she's it's a trash opinion, but she's just a person at the end of the day. Who do you not know that has opinion like that? Like, I'm not going out my way to cancel her, and I don't know. I don't know what she actually said. So let me not say that I'm not going to judge her for what she said, because she could have said some outlandish shit, but I don't know what she actually said. But yeah, we got to stop looking at these people and putting them in pedestals. Like, really, the chick from The Mandalorian, we're gonna cancel all our appointments to listen to what the hell she had to say about LGBT community. Like, who gives a shit, and that's kind of sad, because I'm sure like a lot of men like me and a lot of females that are in that community probably think she's attractive and enjoy her time on screen, so that is disturbing to hear if she, downplayed possible fans. But to echo things that you said, she doesn't need to be canceled. Like, get a life, guys. Let her. If she has opinions, we can ignore them if we disagree with them. You know who I'm ignoring lately? The president of the United States. You know why? Because his opinion doesn't matter anymore. He's about to be gone. So what the hell does it care? What he can scream, "Hey, the moon is made of cheese." Who gives a shit? His opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I want to echo something that Ian said real quick before we pass it to Jeremy, is that these are people's opinions. If they're not exciting any form of violence or anything like that, just ignore them. There are a lot of, I won't say who, there are a lot of creators who ironically make YouTube videos about other creators who I ignore. And I'm like, they're idiots. There are a lot of political people who are doing some dumb shit. I ignore them. And they are not being, oddly enough, they're not being canceled for all the shit that they say on Twitter or on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever. They may get attacked, but the last thing that they're doing is being canceled. So I think people have the right to have an opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have to be very careful about things that we have to say.
We got to pick our battles too.
Exactly. So yeah, but me and Ian have given our opinions about this. So Jeremy, did you happen to see Miss Gina Carano's tweets or stuff she's been posting? And if so, what do you think about her comments? And do you think this should hinder her opportunities in Hollywood?
It's interesting, kind of what Ian said. I was having a difficult time deciphering which thing we were supposed to be offended about. If you read through her Twitter feed, she does not align politically with us. With us, the three of us, we all tend to fall on the same side of the spectrum, varying degrees and different issues. I probably am the most vocal about anti-PC culture, and I don't want to get pigeonholed in as that guy, because I'm a whole lot more than that. But freedom of speech, it works both ways, man. You know what I mean? As liberals, we're supposed to celebrate and prop up tolerance. And look at us. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking shameful. You look at Chris Pratt, who goes to church. Now he's voted the worst Chris or whatever, according to who? These schmucks on Twitter that may or may not even be real people. They may be Russian bots for all I know. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing, though, to think that the group of people who ideologically are supposed to accept different races, different ethnicities, different lifestyles, different gender preferences, we're supposed to be the accepting people, yet I feel like we are now and this is being a little bit hyperbolic, but now we're the people at the Salem witch trials with the fucking pitchforks and the torches talking about burn the witch, and like I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like her takes are trash. I don't agree with what she's saying, but who cares? I think Ian said it beautifully. Like, why do I have to care what Gina Carano says? As far as limiting her abilities in Hollywood, I'd say, her acting will probably limit her abilities in Hollywood. Yeah, the fact that she's kind of you probably want to bleep this out after I say it. That might limit her potential in Hollywood. And also, let's be honest, there are a whole lot of very staunch liberals in Hollywood who this is going to turn off. I mean, it's the reality of the situation. So a couple of the things that she said that she got the most heat about was in reference to man, I don't have it right here in front of me. There was a couple of things. The last one was like very minor, I thought, but with the transphobic thing, somebody basically told her to be an ally and to list her pronouns, and instead of putting she, her, she put beep/boop/bop, which to me, hey, I don't hate that. I think that's kind of maybe a little bit funny, but it doesn't affect my life personally. And like Ian, you're right, dude. I should be an ally. We are allies. I have family members who are gay. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but everybody just toughen up. Stop being a bunch of little babies who want to take people's livelihoods for not agreeing with you. That's pitiful. That is what all right, like back in the 90s, it was Marilyn Manson is destroying the youth of America. Eminem's lyrics are destroying the youth of America. And this was all coming from the conservative right. It was the very religious Christian right, the conservatives that were they attacked culture a lot. And, I think Alex, you said that like, there's a lot of people with really far out right-wing views, people like Steven Crowder, people like, I'm not going to be able to think of him, Ben Shapiro. They're not getting canceled because they're not part of a larger institution that has such specific ideologies. It's the actors that get singled out. If you're an actor and you say anything, look at James Woods, look at Clint Eastwood, look at Mel Gibson, look at Gina Carano. I know that a lot of these people have said reprehensible shit. I'm not defending what they've said. I'm just saying, look at how much anybody that's not a liberal in Hollywood gets demonized, even by people like us who are much more, kind of middle of the road people. But at the end of the day, man, I don't care about what she says. I don't agree with what she says. At the same time, I have to support her right to say it. Like, there's no laws against being transphobic. There's no laws against being a racist piece of shit. There's not. Sorry. That's, if the law was, if you're racist, you get thrown in jail, that would be one thing. But we, as high-minded, intelligent people, have to understand we can't control the bottom of the barrel. We can't fix that 2% of people that are so stuck in their own ignorance that we can't permeate and get through that thick fucking skull of theirs. We can't save everybody. So to go on this virtuous mission of going on Twitter and scrolling through celebrities' timelines to find something that doesn't gel with your sensibilities and then like tattling on them to the rest of social media, it's fucking weak, dude. Nobody liked you when you were in school acting like that, and I don't like you now. So just
and all that right there is definitely going to change her mind.
Yeah,
keep attacking her.
Oh yeah, and see, and that's why I initially started the show saying like that's why we don't do politics on here, because you cannot, as people, you cannot always judge someone for or try to cancel someone because of a tweet that you disagree with. Now, if they are doing something that's so off the wall, I believe that people should be held accountable instead of canceled. I want to see people be held accountable. That's why I said, that's why initially, go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm so sorry to interrupt like that, but I just realized what it was. She's an anti-masker. That's the big thing. She posted an image that basically said, Democratic government leaders, now we recommend that all people wear blindfolds along with masks so we can't see what's really going on.
Dude, I've never seen an anti-masker before. This is crazy. I've never seen anyone with that ideology.
And the one step past that, and y'all might call me crazy for this, but I could see a reality in which what she's saying has some truth to it. I don't agree with her, and I don't think that it's true, but I don't think she's completely irrational or illogical for having those kind of thoughts going through her head. I think it's natural. Now, to take a stance on it is different, and to post it out there, because now you're co-signing it, which is different. But I understand why people would be suspicious of the government. I get it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. So it was the anti-mask thing, and then the fact that she didn't list her pronouns, and that's what we're talking about.
I don't know if I should wear a mask now because of her opinion. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, and see, the whole point, and the reason, and I didn't want to negate your question, Iris, but the whole point of this discussion was like, listen, people are going to say stupid shit. We will not always agree. We don't have to shine a light on it and say, oh, that person said this, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, like I said, if someone is blatantly doing some racist and homophobic and all this dumb stuff, they should definitely be held accountable for it. But for her comments, and again, let me just point this out. I am no way, shape, or form have the same views as Gina Carano. I don't support any of the things that she's posting. Her saying stuff like she's the anti-masker, I'll say it on camera. If she sees it, she'll see it. You saying that is some of the dumbest shit I've heard since Kanye running for president. Let's just be honest. That's just being so dumb. Like, because like even Kanye, when he woke up that morning thinking that he was going to get at least somewhere close to Donald Trump or Joe Biden in votes, he
won that shit. I want to recount.
Yeah, he won that shit in another universe. Okay? Yeah, but that didn't make any sense. But that's why I wanted to answer it, because I understand that she's in Hollywood. I understand that she's on The Mandalorian, and I understand that maybe if, since they love bringing people back from the dead on Fast and Furious, she might come back to Fast and Furious.
And I don't think it was a bad question either. In fact, it gave us an opportunity. So yes, I want to piggyback what you said. If our answers sound defensive, dismissive, anything like that. This is giving us a platform to kind of share that gospel, so that maybe you can take that same thought or idea, or maybe not. Maybe you can reject it outright, but it's giving you a perspective that maybe you haven't thought about before. And I'm not saying we shouldn't care about what celebrities say, or that it doesn't have weight. It only matters as much as we let it matter.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, we are all humans, and we should be making up our own mind. But thank you for your question, Iris.
Yes.
Do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump into the last and final question. And that question comes from a Brian Brown. And he writes, "Hey, Alex, so I'm seeing a lot of chatter about the theaters shutting down for good, and that studios will be focused on network TV and streaming platforms. Is this true, and do you think that this is a good move for studios to make?" Well, thank you for your question, Brian. So what Brian's referring to, a couple of days ago, I think Cinemark made a deal with Universal, and Universal also did another deal with AMC a few months back about shortening the theater gap, the theater window gap, meaning that if it makes a certain amount of money in theaters, like if it's under a $50 million cap, they have the right within like 17 to 30 days to put it out on streaming and make whatever money they can, whether in the theaters and streaming. Now, if anyone knows anything about economics and how business works, especially for the theater industry, the reason why they have a huge gap like that is so theaters can make some form of money along with the concessions that they sell. Obviously, in 2020, given this new circumstances with our quarantine, no one's really going to the theaters. So what do the studios have to do? They have to figure out and have to make new money. Disney even announced about a couple months back as well that they're going to be refocusing a lot of their content to streaming and network television. They developed a new arm, their words, a new arm to focus new content to that, because Disney Plus does make them money in their other streaming platforms that they own, like Hulu, ESPN, and all the other good stuff. They make money for Disney as well. Here's my thought on this. I am a movie fan. I love the movies. I love going to see great movies. I even love to go see bad movies because I can come on here and talk shit about them. Yeah. I love that. But I also love the fact that going out with like either my wife or friends or myself, that is just an experience to experience those great movies. I like tentpole movies, like any Avenger movie or Star Wars movie or a high action movie like John Wick or Mission Impossible or the Jason Bourne series. Just seeing that in the theaters, it's just, there's something about it that brings me joy. It's like you're being put into the emotions and the feelings and the tones of those movies. That being said, the one thing that the quarantine has taught me a lot is to value what you have at home. I have like, I don't know how big my TV is. I think it's like maybe 40 or 50 inches or something like that. And 4K TV, we've been watching Netflix movies and stuff on Hulu and stuff like that. I love the fact that I can sit on my couch, watch movies, pause it, go to the bathroom, eat whatever food that I cook, scratch my ass, and have time to even have sex with my wife while watching the movie.
Yeah.
Just being honest. Like, I can't, everything that I just named, I cannot do in the theater. But at the same time, those are two different experiences.
You could have sex with your wife in the theater. It's just frowned upon.
I mean, you could, but then, I might be in jail and I won't be able to do this anymore. So,
heck of a story, though.
I'm just saying, like, I have found a lot of value in sitting at home and watching movies. I was telling the guys earlier that I watched Jingle Jangle. I'm not a Christmas movie dude. Like, my Christmas movies are Home Alone 1 and 2. That's it. Maybe a few others, but that's really it. Jingle Jangle was an amazing Christmas Carol movie that me and my wife watched, and we just enjoyed it for what it was. That being said, I will say this: if things get worse between now and 2022, yeah, studios are going to go to streaming. I don't think that will happen though. I don't think it will. But if things get worse, I firmly believe. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I talked to one of my theater owner friends like last week, and he had to fire half of his staff.
Mm.
He had to fire half his staff, and that's not. It's not fair to him. But he even told me he's on the verge of losing his theater because there are nobody's coming to go see New Mutants.
No.
Nobody's coming to go see Tenet anymore. Like, we've already seen that, and some of that stuff's already on Amazon. So what are you playing? They were playing, I think, 42, the Jackie Robinson movie, and they were playing Black Panther. Nobody's going to go see it if I already have it. So my thing is that there are people who own these certain theaters that are part of a bigger chain that are like, listen, like, if we don't make a certain amount of numbers, we could lose all of this stuff. And like I said, if it gets worse, the new theaters will be our couches. But Jeremy, what do you think about, the theaters potentially going out of business and streaming and network television may be our new theaters?
I have taken up a bunch of airtime, so I'm going to try to keep this incredibly short. I know I have a tendency to get long-winded about stuff. This is obviously a situation that we're all invested in. Alex, I think you bring up two very valid when you differentiate the two different experiences. I think that is very true. I can appreciate watching a movie at the house versus I can appreciate going out to a movie theater. There's another video that's going to be coming out on the Controversy where we were kind of discussing a stand-up special that came out, and how comedy suffers a little bit when you're not there in the club, or when the comedian doesn't get to read the room and kind of lean into the energy of the crowd and things like that. Comedies, man, they just play so much different at the theater than they do at home by yourself. Comedies and horror movies, I mean, like,
it's the experience.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to get those same experiences at home. I also feel like, and you can't say when. Is it because of this deal with Cinemark? Is it because COVID? Is it because of the release of DVD, of Blu-rays, or before that DVDs, or before that VHS and VCRs and the home market? Like, I think inevitably movie theaters are going away. And when did it start? I don't watch a lot of John Campea these days, but I was watching him yesterday, and he had a pretty good conversation about this, and he said that this spells the beginning of the end, and that's pretty bleak. But I would counter that by saying, like, the first time a person was able to watch Star Wars or Jaws at their house kind of started the dominoes falling. I don't think you can say that it was like, it's just been in the cards, like Blockbuster videos and all that stuff. Like, things eventually go away. Sam Goody music stores. Like, I can think of a lot of things that just aren't around anymore. So it's a shame, but I do feel, and I don't know when, but I feel eventually it's going to, there's not going to be theaters anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, let's be clear. Napster, iTunes, Google Play, they killed the record stores.
Yeah.
And that's just a reality. No, I don't know anybody who buys physical albums anymore. I don't even know why Walmart or retail stores sell those. Like, everything is now digital or streaming for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know anybody who owns like a VHS player.
No.
Like, that's just being honest. But Ian, do you think that the theaters will go out of business and streaming will be our new platforms? Or do you think that they will hopefully probably stand the test of time?
And this is probably the most depressing question you've had today. Seriously. This is honest to God, man, because just the thought of there might not be theaters anymore, that's one of the saddest things of 2020, to tell you the truth. Like, right behind COVID, seriously. And all the, injustice of black lives and stuff. And then the theaters too. Like, my heart is really like breaking to hear something like that. And the best parts about a theater is just the experience and the energy that you get from, like, remember when Cap got Mjolnir for the first time? Yeah. That energy in that movie theater. Of course, it would be awesome to see at home, but that energy, like you're at a football game, it's awesome. And the best experiences, not just with Marvel movies, but would be horror and comedies, because you cannot capture that feeling a second time. There's just no way you could duplicate that. And the best place to do that is in a theater, in my opinion, when you have like-minded people that are just on edge or just like laughing their butts off. And, vibes are real, man. That does suck. It might not only affect the way life is when it comes to streaming and how we get our content, but it might even affect the way it's produced and directed and written as well. Because, like I said, you're not going to get the same effects from comedy and horror at the house. So it might affect the way that they write it. We might get more serious content just for the fact it's going to be how the viewer relates to it. And that does break my heart. I hope we could get this. I'm hearing vaccine rumblings out there. I hope we can just go back to normal. It is going to take time, even when we do get the vaccine, to get back to normal. But the death of movie theater is something I cannot wrap my head of and want to even think about. So I'm going to be optimistic and say it'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I hope so, because when I look at these major companies, I live in Orlando, going to an AMC theater, especially in Orlando, because where everything is Disney-fied, it's like going to the Super Bowl to a degree. I never forget when I went to go see Avengers Endgame in their AMC Adobe Disney theater. I was sucked in through that whole time. And that's an experience that I cannot get at home. And the only way I can get that at home is I drop almost $50,000 to remodel my living room into a theater. And that my wife would never let me do that. And I don't even have that kind of money to do that. So I think having the theater experience is very important. I, as a movie fan, do not want it to go away, but I can say I've been very appreciative of all the content that has come out, especially on Netflix, because there's a lot of things on Netflix that I've been watching that I'm so intrigued in that I didn't really give a chance when things were somewhat normal. So I want there to be a theater experience. By the way, I don't agree with everything that John Campea says, because I noticed even with Campea, there tends to be a very serious line when I draw the line where you have problems with certain deals with people. Like if you say, oh, a certain producer left a TV show or showrunner left TV show, just get another showrunner. It's not that hard.
Sure.
I mean, that's just my thing. Not shitting on Campy or anything like that. I'm just saying
if you don't agree with Campea, man, you should check out Andy Signor's channel. He's always telling the truth.
I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about theaters, I hate you, Ian. But when we're talking about theaters, hopefully they will definitely come back. But thank you for your question, Brian. And that will wrap up my show. Thank you guys for watching this amazing episode of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You get all the updates every time we're releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Tune in tomorrow where these two guys go head-to-head for Star Wars match, Force Awakens versus Rogue One. Very interesting match. Ian, where can we find you on social media and YouTube?
Yeah, man, you can find me at youtube.com/thecontroversy or Instagram or Twitter at @I_controversy. And yeah, let's have a discussion every Wednesday night at 8:30, 7:30 Central. I do a live stream where we talk about some of the topics of the week as well. So yeah, come join us.
Yeah. And Jeremy, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
I'll be lurking through Gina Carano's tweets, trying to find something a little more substantial to cancel that lady over.
Oh, wow.
Check out Terrible Apparel on Teespring. Got multiple shirts, got some merchandise that's coming out. I see Alex is rocking his Momentum Media. Ian's got some Controversy swag that you can check out as well. You guys will have to check down in the description for those links, because I don't know those off the top of my head, but I do know Terrible Apparel over on Teespring. Also, make sure you're checking out Movies Are Terrible every Thursday at 6 p.m. CST to check out the Movies Are Terrible live podcast that I do with Caleb and other friends. You might even see some familiar faces on there. So, yeah, head over and check it out. I'm trying to hit 5K by December 31st. it's a tall order to fill. So if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, do me a favor, head over there and do that. And I appreciate you.
Yeah, yay.
Awesome. We all have goals. I think Ian's trying to hit 4K and I'm trying to hit 3K. Wow, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Like, we can definitely do it by the end of this year. We just need your help, guys. So please go support all 3 of our channels. We put out a lot of great content and a lot of similar content as well. So we do a lot of fun things on each of our channels. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, you guys, you have a blessed day.